the right thing, based on the principles of Zambia's foreign policy, which we first formally codified in 1969, if I might add. The action by Russia itself has actually breached some of these principles. Amongst them, number one, the inviolability of national borders. Number two, the respect for sovereignty and territorial integrity of states. Number three, the non-use of force or threat of force in the settlement of disputes. Number four, the inadmissibility of acquisition of territory by force. And number five, non-support for unilateral declaration of independence or illegal cessation of territory. Now, these principles are enshrined in the UN Charter and the Constitutive Act of the African Union, amongst others. So the UN has got within itself and within its framework established mechanisms for addressing disputes like the one which is taking place between Russia and Ukraine, including that of its security concerns, which Russia could have utilized rather than to take unilateral direct action as it did this time. It's only by standing on principle, in our view, and not on whether one is a friend or a foe, which would be an emotional decision. It's only by standing on principle that we can justify the positions that we should take during such votes at the United Nations. This is what gives us the moral high ground to support issues of Western Sahara, for instance, or the Malvinas or the Falklands, or the Chagos in the recent times, including that of the Palestinians. It's this basis on principle and on what has been prescribed within the Charter of the United Nations that guides us and gives us legitimacy as a state. There are many missteps, of course, done by Ukraine and Western countries, and plenty of history that may give sympathy to Russia's grievances, as we might call it, but not to the point of justifying the invasion. Indeed, other big countries, like we might argue, have done similar things to different degrees. May I state that all these are unacceptable. I believe that if America did something like what Russia has done, it does not justify the wrong act. America must be condemned, and one would wish that at that time that it was happening, enough consensus would have been made to condemn such. If we support Russia, which has been our all-weather friend, and we are grateful for all the support that they have given to freedom liberation groups on the continent of Africa. But if we run away from the UN